Hi there. Hello. Good good day everyone. This is Teacher Jerry for English with Java and today we'll be having English 5 the revised curriculum Matatag. We're on week 5. There. Okay. It's about our learning competency. It's about comprehending informational texts, especially about explanatory texts. Our objectives: one, identifying text types and author's purpose, determine the important details of an explanatory text, describe characteristics of a text that aims to explain, with, of course, using the excuse letter. Use glossary in understanding key terms and concepts. Let's have day one. Let's have a short review. What are the different types of informational text that you have read? Examples are the travel brochures, information trivia, fact sheets. Okay, you will be grouped by your advisor, by your teacher, by your English teacher, by 5 per group. You may prepare sample fact sheets for your students. I'm talking to the teachers. Fact sheets that could be about local holidays or local heritage spots in your town. Each group will jot down or take note their answers to the following questions. What is the main idea of the text? List 3 key details from the text. What is one new fact to learn from the text? Why is this information important? Because I'll get to explain later. Every group will share their main ideas, key details, and new facts learned through a discussion. Sharing. Now let's have our lesson now. You will have an example of an explanatory text about how volcanoes erupt, the water cycle, how to plant a seed. We'll have the water cycle. We first have to unlock this vocabulary for us to really understand what we are going to be reading in a while. Tidings. Just choose the letter of your answer of what could be the meaning of tidings. Sentence: when the postman arrived with a letter, he brought tidings of great joy, announcing that grandma would be visiting us for the holidays. What does the word tidings most likely mean in this sentence? Is it A, gifts, B, news, C, groceries, D, plans? That's B, news. Ancestral. During our trip to the province, we visited our ancestral home, a grand old house that has been in our family for generations. What does ancestral mean? Is it A, modern, B, temporary, C, inherited, D, abandoned? That's C, inherited. Laid back. The beach resort had a laid back atmosphere with people lounging in hammocks and children playing quietly in the sand. Laid back means: is it A, stressful, B, relaxed, C, noisy, D, busy? Laid back means relaxed, B. For garish. She decorated her room with garish colors using bright neon pink and lime green that hurt your eyes to look at for too long. Is it A, subtle, B, muted, C, bright and showy, D, dark and dull? That's C, bright and showy, garish or glaring. Picturesque. The small village nestled in the mountains was so picturesque with its charming cottages, blooming gardens, and a clear stream running through it. Picturesque means: is it A, ugly, B, dirty, C, beautiful and scenic, D, crowded? That's C, beautiful and scenic or Instagrammable. Indulgent. On his birthday, his parents were indulgent, letting him eat as much ice cream as he wanted and staying up late to watch his favorite movies. What does the word indulgent most likely mean in this sentence? Is it A, strict, B, generous, C, careless, D, busy? That's a B, generous. Now we have here a text, a story, My Christmas Story, written by Daphne Ashley Z. You are going to answer later. What does the author say is unique? Something unique about the Christmas spirit in the Philippines as compared to other places, especially being compared to the US. Describe the setting of the author's ancestral home in Guagua, Pampanga during Christmas time. What are some of the special foods mentioned or delicacies that the author's family enjoys during Christmas Eve and Christmas morning? How does the author describe the changes in Guagua, Pampanga over the years? What feelings and values does the author associate with Christmas, and how are they reflected in her family's traditions? Now, one key element of explanatory text is the glossary. We're talking about the list of words and their meaning, terminologies, glossary, which provides definitions for specific terms and ensures readers fully understand the content. By learning about glossaries, we can improve our ability to explain and share our own experiences and knowledge clearly. Let's learn more about what explanatory texts are and how we can use them to effectively communicate our ideas. That's for day one. For day one, it actually talked about the Christmas story of Daphne, comparing Philippines, that's how we celebrate Christmas, to the other countries. Now, let's have the key points about this is about the Christmas story, that one we had during that day one. Travel to ancestral home. Daphne explains that her family travels 2 hours from Manila to their ancestral house in Guagua, Pampanga, whenever they don't go abroad, highlighting the importance of gathering as a family. Key point number two, festive atmosphere in Guagua. About the Christmas spirit. She describes the scene of laughing children, vendors selling delicacies, and families enjoying simbang gabi, illustrating a lively and festive environment. Key point three, special foods and traditions. Christmas morning, during the Christmas morning on December 25, she describes the Christmas morning tradition of her grandmother, making chocolate using tablea and batirol, along with a breakfast menu of sinangag, tocino, achara, and something else. Now we're on day three. What is explanation writing or explanatory text? Explanatory text, also known as expository texts, answer a question and or explain a subject, action, or event. They are primarily informational texts. So you are going to explain why and how something happens. So we have here the type. You can have causal explanations, cause and effect, to step by step and how to guides, and procedural writing sequences. Now, how do you write an explanation text? One, start with a question including how or why. Two, think of the main points you want to highlight in order to effectively answer the question. These might become your subheadings or subtopics. Have a clear introduction explaining the topic. Write in the present tense and use action verbs. Five, use the linking words and phrases to help your writing feel cohesive when moving between ideas. Six, use cause and effect words to explain your topic. Seven, consider using numbered points, pictures, or diagrams to help your readers understand each point even better and emphasize the context of your explanation text throughout. Now, here are some explanation texts that they often include several linguistic features, such as they have one written in the present tense. Why is it written in the present tense? Because it's actually you are talking to somebody in that, like you are giving directions. Most of these are giving instructions or steps. Time connectives, you have the time connectives like first, second, next, then last, finally. Sequencing, the order of steps, events, what happens next, then that should be in correct order. Subheadings, linking phrases like in addition to, moreover, after that, furthermore. Clear sentence structure and technical terminology or the jargons, especially when most of these explanatory texts are of science lessons. And they also have formal language. They use formal language. When writing an explanation, using formal language makes it clearer and more informative. Formal language helps express ideas accurately so readers understand the points. Explanation writing often uses technical terms, or we call them like jargon, jargon, like condensation in an essay about the water cycle. So that's condensation, it's a highly technical term. These terms sometimes need to be explained early on so they can be used without confusing the reader. So that's why we need the glossary. Here are some examples of explanation writing. The words and the linking words, phrases that we use when you write an explanation type. We have the time connectives, like firstly, like I said earlier, secondly, lastly, finally, next, then cause and effect. You have therefore, in conclusion, moreover, as a result, and then linking words and phrases for additional information. Additionally, furthermore, likewise, similarly. You need to use these terms. Examples of of an explanation text. Notice the words that we use. Firstly, bees collect nectar from flowers with their mouths, which are shaped like tubes. They then transport the sweet nectar to their hive. The bees continue to fly back and forth hundreds of times between flowers and their hives, delivering the nectar. Each time they return to their hive, they pass on the nectar to the house bees. House bees now have the special job of making the thick li- of making it. The thick liquid is then stored in the hexagonal honeycombs and sealed with beeswax. A beekeeper wearing protective clothing will regularly gather the honeycomb and remove the honey. Honey is now finally packed and prepared by farms and factories to send on to the stores where people can buy it and consume. Now, here are some topics, common topics for explanation text. Most of these are phenomenon, events that you usually explain. Like, how does the recycling process work? Why do volcanoes erupt? How can you be a good friend? Why does it get cold at night? How do you make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Why should we eat fruits and vegetables? How often should you walk a dog? Why do we need sleep? How do you ride a bicycle? Why do we dream? How do TVs walk? I mean, how do TVs work? How do telephones work? Like that. Example here, how to make a paper plane. You have there the introduction. Begin by introducing the topic of your explanatory paragraph. This sentence should give a clear idea of what you're going to explain, what you will be talking about. Example, making a paper airplane is a fun and easy activity that anyone can do with just a piece of paper. Just a simple introduction. Then you have to provide a step-by-step explanation. Use the linking words and phrases to guide the reader through each step of the process. Explain how to do each step and why it is important. Example, firstly, one instruction. Firstly, take a piece of standard letter sized paper and fold it in half lengthwise. This initial fold helps to create a symmetrical base for your airplane. Why is it important? This ensures that both sides of the plane are even, which is crucial or critical or important for balanced flight. Secondly, unfold the paper and then fold the top two corners toward the center crease or fold. This forms the nose of the airplane. And then you have to explain why. A pointed nose helps the airplane cut through the air more efficiently, allowing it to fly farther. Next, fold the top edges toward the center again, creating a sharper point at the nose. This step refines the shape of the airplane. Why is it important? The sharper point enhances aerodynamics, improving the airplane's performance. Then, then fold the paper in half along the original crease. This reinforces the structure of the airplane. Why is it important? A strong central crease helps maintain the plane's shape during flight. And finally, Finally, create the wings by folding down each side to the bottom edge of the plane. Adjust the wings to ensure they are even and flat. Why is it important? Properly aligned wings are crucial for stable flight and can make the airplane glide smoothly. Conclusion: you have to have an ending because you have a beginning or start or the introduction. You must have a conclusion or ending also. End with a sentence that wraps up the explanation and reiterates, says again, the result of following these steps. Objective: to model how to write a short explanatory paragraph using linking words and phrases to structure the explanation and to emphasize the importance of explaining how and why each step is important. Instructions: read the following explanatory text, fill in the blanks with the correct linking words from the provided list. Please provide the list as found in the answer key. Make glossary of terms based on the text. You should be able to provide at least 5 words. We have here, yeah, on the blank, you're going to write the linking words, connectors, like the conjunctions. How to plant a tomato seedling. Planting a tomato seedling is a simple process that anyone can do at home. Blank, you need to gather all the necessary materials. These include a tomato seedling, a pot, potting soil, and water. Two, choose a pot that has good drainage holes at the bottom. This will ensure that the excess water can escape, preventing root rot. Three, fill the pots with potting soil, leaving some space at the top. Make a small hole in the center of the soil. Four, carefully remove the tomato seedling from its original container. Be gentle to avoid damaging the roots. Five, place the seedling into the hole you made in blank. Cover the roots with soil and press it down gently to hold the plant in place. Seven, water the seedling thoroughly, making sure the soil is evenly moist. Eight, place the pot in a sunny location as tomato plants need plenty of sunlight to grow. Nine, remember to water the plant regularly and check for pests or diseases. 10, with proper care and attention, your tomato plant will grow strong and healthy, providing you with delicious tomatoes. Students will practice, you will now practice using appropriate linking words and phrases or connectors, conjunctions to make an explanatory text cohesive, properly sewn or properly thread, and clear, smooth flowing of your words and paragraphs. Additionally, students will learn how to create and use a glossary to enhance their understanding of specific terms related to the topic. Okay, by every group will be given topics. Like one topic will have to talk about how to make a parole, how to prepare sinigang. There, they have to have paragraph 1 for the introduction, then explanations, and paragraph 6 for conclusion. For the glossary, they are going to look for the words that they used. These words should be uh, content words, important words, new, difficult words, and then they are going to define that word to be defined, and then going to write the part of speech, the 8 parts of speech, whether that would be a noun, adjective, adverb, pronoun. Definition, they have to give the dictionary definition or meaning. Now on day 4. So that would be all for English 5, quarter 1, week 5. It's about informational text, explanatory text. I hope you learned. Hi there, everyone. Bye, bye, bye.